This question comes from NLTM.
Okay.
Okay.
Where are you
Sure.
guys?
Oh, is that that's a Pony Goons person, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. I love Pony Goons. ML ponies. They're good. Good
Were
to
you
us.
guys surprised
Anyway.
by the large reception Friendship is Witchcraft has gotten? What were you expecting when you put up the first episode?
Hmm. That's a good question.
The first episode didn't get a huge return of views. It did okay, but it
Yeah.
definitely increases every episode, which is great, and I hope it keeps doing that. But yeah,
But
I
did
think
we
I've
ever
been pretty
expect it
surprised.
to be? I think that's what he's asking. Because when we made the
Did we
first
expect it to?
episode, did we expect it to be some big thing? Actually, I would say that when we made the first episode, we did like we
Yeah,
weren't even thinking about it.
we didn't
Like,
know if we were gonna
of
do more episodes.
course,
Even we were like, we'll do it all summer
yeah,
and then stop, and like, yeah,
yeah. Of course, we were thinking that we wanted people to watch it, but we weren't in a mentality where I think now we are, where it's like, how many subscribers do we have? How many views does each of our
yeah,
videos have? We check these things now daily, whereas before it was just like, oh, people are commenting on it, which is cool. Or even when
hmm
it got on Reddit, that was cool. It was like, oh, I didn't even know that there was an MLP Reddit, and I didn't know that they
yeah,
would post it and then it would get upvoted. So, but at the same time, I don't think we're trying to be like, oh, all humble, like, oh, we didn't know it was going to be such a big thing. Because I think that that's BS when
because
people
we put
say
a lot
that.
of work into it, and like we
Yeah,
hoped that it would be a
we,
big thing, definitely.
so it's a mixture. It's a mixture. Um, yeah, right. So to be honest, I wasn't even thinking about it when we were making it of what people would even like it or not. But we just wanted to do
Yeah.
it.
Okay, our next question comes from Cult Leader Fluttershy. What can the average
Cool.
brony do to help bring about the return of Lord Smooze?
Oh, you can do lots. You can head on down to your local conversion spa and meet up with Fluttershy. You can have her indoctrinate you herself, and
You
then
can
you
donate. You can donate to the
donate.
cause.
Yeah,
Usually
just
it's about
you.
a 20% donation of everything that you own,
Yeah,
typically.
20 of your income. You got to do if you want to join the cult of
Well,
Smooth.
also things you already have when you first join. You're supposed to give about a
Yeah,
fifth of everything you
that's
already
right.
have.
You got to give your
To be
stuff to
fair, for all the
Smooth.
time when you weren't in the cult, you have to make up
Right.
for that.
You have to incorporate smooze into your lexicon. You got to say praise smooze and stuff like that, and spread the word. Obviously, make sure you too when you mention smooze that you mention that the glorious cult leader Fluttershy is the only one who can communicate directly with smooze. She's
hmm
really the leader of the
Yeah.
group. Um, and yeah, just
So
wait for the end
that's
to come.
yeah.
The eclipse is coming, so I think people that's going to mark the end. A few rituals will have to be done to
Yeah, we
summon
need to bring
Smooth.
about the end. The messengers will have to, like cult
Yeah,
leader Fluttershy, obviously.
so
But
there'll be some things. Yeah, so there'll be some
there's
tasks
not
she
much that can be
has
done to
for
stop
people.
it. Yeah.
She might ask you to
And
just
she must obey.
bring her your coffee. That'll help bring Smooth back. Kill the
hmm
gypsy. That's another thing that she might
Clean
ask you to
house for
do.
her. It
Right,
definitely
right,
helps because it needs to be a pure work environment for the
right.
ritual to commence.
A lot of things need to be done to help Smooth come
Yeah.
back.
This next question is from Professor Coltiardi. How much of an influence is Flim Flam on your work?
Um,
Well, just Professor Coltiardi, does that mean that's our nemesis since we're Sherlock Holmes? Is that what they're getting at?
that's pretty
Anyway,
clever. But um,
you know,
but uh,
go
but
on.
the answer would be no. We don't. Like I said, we hadn't seen his series until after we made our first episode, and he commented, and then we
Yeah.
watched some of it. I haven't seen every episode, but well, I guess I've seen parts of every episode. We
Yeah,
did
I've seen
this.
more of the recent ones. Yeah.
We did a joke. We did a pretty funny joke, I would say.
We did a really
Where
good joke.
he
It
was
was
like
great.
he was like trying to like instigate with us, right? He was doing the fake fight. So we didn't know how to respond because I didn't really think it would be such a good idea to just be like coming up with insults. Like we didn't want to seem mean, right? our series is mean enough, so we don't want to we don't want to actually
Yeah.
seem mean ourselves or like mean spirited or anything like that. So what we did was we commented on his first video, and we were like, this was pretty good, but where's Sweetie Belle? Question mark. And then on episode 2, it was like, whatever, ja 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 ja, like how Spanish people, I guess, do LOL. It's like
Yeah, because it's pronounced ha.
Yeah.
Ha.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
the ha
yeah,
ha ha
yeah,
ha ha thing, and then we said like real good, haha, very funny. But where's Sweetie Belle? Question mark. And then
So we just kind of came across as like this sort of not all together person who just doesn't understand. And like
And we would-
Sweetie Belle was spelled incorrectly.
We
That
would
was part
change
of
the
it too.
persona too. We would in the next comment, it was like a whole paragraph where it's like, this is really great. Like the voices are spot on.
Yeah.
Blah, blah. I'm so glad you left the other abridged team. But if I may offer one suggestion, it's to include more Sweetie Belle in your next episode. So we were kind of trolling Flam for a while. And then I think in his episode 5 or something like that, he actually had Sweetie Belle appear.
Yeah, that's
Like
the
in
one
the
thing I thought
credits.
of when I saw that episode. I was like, these guys are trolling Flim, aren't they, with robotic Sweetie Belle? Because he's doing this joke.
Actually, the joke where Sweetie Belle was like a demon or something.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
possessed. She's possessed by Taz.
Right. It's that again. That's another. We didn't watch.
Yeah,
his
we kind of
episode.
wrote those at the same time.
They were written at
Those
the exact same
episodes.
time, so it was just a coincidence that their voices were both sort of the joke, where they were like deeper or whatever. Like
Yeah, it was a coincidence.
Yeah, we recorded Sweetie Belle's lines before episode 0 aired, and by the time the episode called "Cute from the Hip" actually came out, I think that was November 1st, I think. So
Okay,
a while.
I think so.
So a while after it had already, yeah. And I don't remember when Thin Flam's thing came out, but in short,
he let in from Winter Wrap Up was the one where he first brought Taz into the whole thing.
Right.
And he's got to try and find a way to get rid of Taz was the whole Winter Wrap Up episode. And then they do the one with Apple Bloom trying to get her cutie mark.
Right.
Which is where,
but like you said, we've seen some of them. We saw the one with the cutie, the other Call of the Cutie parody. But yeah, like that's something that I actually really liked was the Taz demon thing, because to me that's a very Witchcraft joke, to be frank. Like taking something that's sort of like totally out there, like not almost has nothing to do with ponies, and like making a thing about it.
Yeah, and having it be like a running concept.
I would say, in truth, Flam has learned more from us than we've learned from him. I mean, he includes original songs now in his series, and he, I would say his jokes now, if you watch the first few episodes, there's more one-off jokes, but now he's all into this idea that he's got a huge story and he's got characters with depth.
Like a running universe, yeah.
Right. And having Taz come back in another episode, that's a running joke, right? And I think that's like, we sort of put it out there that you need to have running jokes in order to be like, that's what will make you good. The other ones pretty much don't do that. The callbacks.
Well, I mean, a lot of the series don't have that many episodes, so maybe they would if they did.
This next question comes from Winona. What is the name of Applejack's dog in your series?
It'll probably be the same. I don't know. I guess it'll come up when she shows up. We don't change that many names.
We're not sure.
I mean, maybe we've got some fun yokel name for the dog. I mean, it's very possible because Applejack is a huge like hick in our series. So
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, we'll probably now you mention it, think of something funny for the dog, but I don't think we had anything planned for it.
I like to think that Applejack. She's a different kind of hick, actually. There's the way the Friendship is portrays them, where they're like, they're Southern and they've got the Southern charms and the work ethic, but there's nothing wrong with being Southern, right? That's what a lot of people say. Well, that's how they're
like
playing it.
Homey and
but
cute.
Other bridge series will have it be that she's dating her cousin. She's got bad teeth,
the whole inbred joke is very
drinks moonshine
Southern
and stuff. So they're just doing all the Southern stereotypes. But I think that our Applejack, it's as if she's a Southern stereotype written by like an alien. Has no idea.
Like, this is what they know. Like, Southern people wear cowboy hats and they eat corn on the cob.
And
what
like,
they've
she says
observed from watching our
she
human
says
programming.
gravy and meatloaf a lot, like, and
Yeah, just
rattlesnake.
indiscriminately. She'll just be
That's
somewhere
not-
and just be like, gravy. And it's just like, why would she do that?
So there's that sort of idea that she's like there's something off with her as even a stereotype of Southern people. She's not really a good stereotype, and she's not.
She's like a really bland representation of it.
Malicious stereotype either.
This question is from Borges. Do you guys endorse this whole Sherklop, Trotson, cultiarity stick?
The one that's going on
I guess
in
they
the
were
chat
writing
right
like
now?
actual fanfics. No, I think they mean the general one. I know there's like a fanfic that's literally the adventures of Sherklop Pones, unrelated, and they are just ponifying. I assume they're writing their own mysteries because that would be how it would be clever. I hope they're not just literally ponifying the exact stories from Sherklop Holmes, but I assume they're not. So that's cute. I haven't read it, but I like the idea that we have a Trotson and a Professor Cultiarty.
That's funny. Yeah.
I can't really see it ever mattering since Sherklop Holmes. It's not really a character we write, but it's cute, and I love the pun names, the horse puns.
Yeah, we don't really. I've never actually read anything by Sherlock Holmes, so.
Oh, you haven't?
I have not. So.
Good. Should.
So I know it's good. I believe it. Just it's one of those things I've never read.
Yeah.
But in essence, it's not. The name really was just like we needed a name. We needed a name. We didn't even really. It's not. It's like we kind of thought about it, but we just wanted to choose something.
Weren't you? I think you literally just got on Facebook and you were like,
Yes.
"What's a good quantification of Sherlock Holmes?" I was thinking like Sure Trot Hooves, and I was like, "So you're just gonna skip over Sherlock Pones?" And he was like, "Oh, that's better." See, I beat it.
Yeah, you beat mine. Right.
I did.
Well, yeah. So there you go. But in our universe, supposedly, again, something we don't really want to. Doesn't really matter. We don't want people to get caught up in it. But Sherlock Pones is both of us, right? So who is Sherlock Pones? Well, in our universe, he's a horse, not a pony, but a horse.
Yep, not an OC, just a literal horse, a chestnut horse with a blaze down his nose.
And he's got a pipe, corncob pipe, and a hat that's like the Sherlock Holmes hat.
Yep.
And he's a detective. He's a horse and he's a detective. And he lives in our world. He doesn't live in the pony's world. And
yeah, that would be strange because he's not even a pony. So.
Yeah. So he lives in our world, and in his free time, he makes friendship is witchcraft. That's all.
On the side from solving those horse mysteries.
Our OC is he's a detective, a horse detective, and he is also a she. You can say her, you can say him. The gender doesn't matter. It'd be cool if someone drew some. Like, I was actually half expecting by now there to be some actual Sherlock Pones like artwork somewhere in the world. Like
nudge.
Well,
if anyone wants to draw it.
I'm saying, like, have they made a Sherlock Holmes character?
Yeah, you'd think at least the fanfic would have its own little fan art. I would prefer it not to look like Robert Downey Jr. for the record.
Yeah.
It's just
also,
weird.
we did invent the name Sherlock Pones because before that, I had heard people say Sherlock Hooves.
And everything's hooves. People don't know enough horse words.
Yeah. So, and Klopp has already been sort of bastardized by the community.
Yeah.
It's an
Let's
unfortunate.
just ignore that.
Yeah.
This one's from Gru, and it's for Jenny. Which character is the hardest to voice?
Probably Pinkie Pie, because she has such a high voice. It can be hard to stay in Pinkie Pie, but Fluttershy is also hard just because she's so quiet and you have to like push out a lot of air. And I don't know, I always feel like short of breath after I do a Fluttershy line. Griffin even commented recently that on like all of my lines, after I say them, there's this huge inhale after it, where it's like I just say the line with all of my air, and then afterward I'm like, it's like really sad. But yeah, I think Fluttershy has that effect the most. But Pinkie Pie is the hardest to stay in because it's hard to get accurate. I guess I just don't have the high-pitched voice for it. I can't do it spot on.